Well, gang, it's Chris again from Vertical Without Bed Sores. And I think I already mentioned that little Mary's home in bed from school today, so she's not with me. And I came to this place that my daughter stayed in. And you never know, it's called serendipity. I met this lady that's staying here, and I told her about my illness. And she has quite an interesting story. What place are you from?
In Wisconsin, near Eau Claire.
Now, just your first name,
Barb.
Barb. So, Barb, um, you told me a story that you've had a lot of experiences take caring sick people, and your dad, a week before he's supposed to get married, was hit by a drunk driver and became a paraplegic. Now, can you tell us what the word paraplegic means?
So, my
I'm going
dad
to give just
actually died. He had a death certificate. In today's day, it wouldn't be like that though. But he was in the hospital 3 years on an old striker frame, so where the beds would tilt back and forth. And so at that time, his legs didn't work. So he had an out of body experience, and my mom was looking over him, and all of a sudden he just came back to life, and that was he had a death certificate
he
already.
was in
He
a
was
coma for 3 years,
no, he was alive and well. He was in the hospital for 3 years.
and he did it. He died though as a paraplegic.
So he was pronounced dead at the hospital. And so it was all the same day. He was in the car accident. He was pronounced dead. And then my mom was in there with his body, and he all of a sudden came back to life. So he's one of the few people in this world who have two death certificates. Only one was null and void, but the other one, yeah, he died many years later.
Wait, at the age of,
I don't remember. He died in 2008. I don't know. I think he was in his 60s when he
but he
died.
could walk around.
Nope. So his legs didn't work at all. I'm adopted. My brother's adopted. They couldn't have kids. Um, and so it's just me and my brother. And then he slowly became a triplegic, which is when three of your extremities don't work. So it's two legs and one arm. And then he became a quadriplegic. So
Was
he
that like
died.
what deterioration of the spinal cord?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly it's from, but your fingers kind of curl up, and he went to an electric wheelchair.
Now, did he have a good attitude?
He sure did. He had a great attitude.
Could
He,
never work though, right?
that's what they told him. But my dad, as a quad, was never on disability. He 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 worked all his life. He worked himself up to part own a company.
He did,
Yep.
and he worked out of the house.
Nope. He went to work. He had a hand control for driving,
He drove, huh?
and then he had to retire when he became a quadriplegic.
And what age was that?
I honestly don't. I don't remember. Late 50s, early 60s, maybe.
Never
I
felt
can't
sorry for
remember.
himself though.
Nope. He
Your
always.
mother, mother must have been a saint.
My mother was a saint. Yes, my mother was a saint. But my dad always told me, I'll never forget. He always said, just look around. There's someone always worse off than you. So dad and I were sitting at Park Nicollet. We were waiting to get prescriptions, and I was pissing and moaning because it was taking too long, and I was probably high school. I don't know, younger, and I wanted to get going. I didn't want to sit and wait for the prescription. And dad was sitting there. He goes, you know what? Just look up. There's always someone that has it worse off than you. And as I looked up, through the sliding glass doors, in walked a guy with young, probably in his teens, walking on two prosthetic legs and had no arms with a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess that sort of stoic, stoicism tells them it's really not what happens to us; it's the way we react to what happens to us.
yeah.
And your mother must have been madly in love with your father.
Yep. She kind of became a caretaker, but yes. We
What
went camping every weekend. We traveled around Europe. We had to tent because nothing was handicapped accessible.
and
So
what years?
night the year the Berlin Wall came down, we saw that in 1989. I went to college out there, and then they came and visited for a month.
And it was not at all handicap friendly in Europe at that time, right?
Correct. Yeah, there was. In fact, it was terrible for him because it was a lot of cobblestone roads, and on a wheelchair cobblestone roads, it doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't work out. But we went to Oktoberfest. Yeah, we had a great time. We had a
Now,
really fun time.
your mother then died, right?
My mother just died last November.
And was she in good shape?
She was in great shape. My 3-year-old granddaughter gave her a hug, and she fell over backwards and broke her neck in 3 places.
What? She fell off the chair, or
she just she just fell over backwards. She was standing there, and I watched it. Just she the back of her neck hit the counter.
was she like have osteoporosis, or?
No, she had just like I said, I took care of her for 4 to 5 years. It was just,
That sounds dreadful to be knocked down by your granddaughter. And
you know what? That's not the way we're looking at it. What That's the best way to go. She went because of a hug from her granddaughter, or her great granddaughter.
so, how long did she live after the hug?
Um, a week and a half, maybe.
Oh,
So we
how
had her
old
in
was the
hospice
granddaughter?
in the house. 3.
So she has no recall of that, right?
She does.
No guilt, though, right? I mean,
No, there's no guilt because we tell her how happy Emma was for the hug, and she just said she went boom and everything. She talks about it every once in a while,
see
but we
my
just said it was such a good,
see
happy.
my granddaughter is she's her grandmother, maternal grandmother is 6'1". She's the largest kid in the class, and she's almost as tall as my wife, who's 4'9", and she's rough with my wife, and she doesn't realize how strong she is, and my wife has osteoporosis, and it's odd that you would tell that story because we're very concerned about that. She's going to be 8 in October. So then how long did you have to take care of your mom?
Well, I took care of her for between 4 and 5 years.
And she was in pretty good shape, though, right?
Um, yeah, she was with me all the time. Then she went to a daycare some days a week so that I could work part time. So I traveled to the cities, eh, the Twin Cities, Minnetonka, took care of her, and then she'd go with me to my house in Wisconsin on the weekends.
So I mixed up. The injury occurred. How old was your mother?
She died when she was 88. So the injury occurred, she died November 7th. So I don't know if it was, I, she lived, yeah, maybe a week or so. Obviously, we went to the hospital, and then I took her out of the hospital when she stopped eating because I didn't want her to die in the hospital. So then we got her all set up at home.
So you didn't take care of her for years because of the injury sustained.
No, I took care of her just because of mental. She was a little tiny. Like I said, I'm adopted. I'm 6 foot. My mom wasn't
Are
even
you
5 foot.
6 foot, really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. My mom was 5 foot, 100 pounds.
But you got it from your dad then, right?
I'm adopted.
Oh, so you don't know.
Yeah.
The It's ironic that I would tell you that we think Mary's going to be at least 6 foot. Were you always the large kid in the school pictures in the last row? And always
Always.
to be. Did that ever bother you being tall?
Yeah, when I was younger, it did, but I love it now.
The
You're getting the
Yeah, I'm
smoke.
getting a. So I notice now. I'm gonna have to get away from downwind.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to move from this fire. It's going.
The wind shifted.
When I was a kid, tall girls always seem to have stooped shoulders.
Yep.
But you don't see that anymore. Nobody's ashamed. Actually, it's sort of a, and I keep telling Mary that. Don't ever be embarrassed about being tall.
No, but see, girls grow faster than the boys do. That's what really stinks about it. My husband sleeping in there is 6'5". He's a really big man.
I'm glad I didn't offend you. But
I can guarantee you he's hearing every word you're saying because the window's open. But yeah, no, but that's why it stinks to be a tall girl, because all the boys go up to your shoulders.
yeah, but a lot of men and a guy like me, I was only 5'8.5", and I know I was a policeman when I was young,
So
and
was my husband.
really, and I was always worried I wouldn't make the hype. And the doctor, when I went for the physical, said, "No, man, you're okay. You're a half inch over." And he says, we're not. If you're just, if you're 5 inches short, that's something different. If you're a little short, don't worry about it. So, but I think it's a badge of courage to be tall and beautiful. And I just noticed these girls up, especially up here. You got 6'2", 6'3", and then you don't have that droopy shoulder syndrome anymore.
No.
So, how long are you staying up here?
We leave on Friday.
Friday. And what's today?
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, I lose track
Yeah.
of time. So, you've had a lot of experience. And then who else did you take care of, did you say?
Just my mom and my dad. My brother died, but he lived in Wisconsin, like of the esophageal cancer.
He was the one that was in Alaska when he died?
Well, he lived in Alaska for years and years.
Then he came down here?
Nope, he didn't come down here. I didn't take care of him.
Oh. So he actually died in Alaska, too. Now,
it was his whole life.
I wanted to move to Alaska, but it was like $8 a gallon for gas. Did you ever go to Alaska?
I never did. It's the one place I've always wanted to go.
$8 a gallon for milk. And I got to know some of the guys, the old guys, and they said, "Tell you what, man, unless you got a lot of money," which I obviously don't, "you'll never make it up here." So I spent 64 years in Chicago, and I drove 15,000 miles, and I found this place up here, which to me actually closely mimics Alaska.
Yeah, I think
but
you're right.
It's affordable Alaska. Now, my daughter, she stayed Wednesday night, Thursday night at the Grand Hotel. You ever been to Mackinac Island?
I don't think so.
The room was like $600,000-800,000 bucks.
Yeah, no.
This is what we call up here Copper Island, is the affordable Mackinac. The poor man's Mackinac Island. But, there's no crime up here.
No, it's awesome here. We love it here.
Have you ever been here in the winter, though?
No, but we don't have as bad of winters as you do, but Wisconsin.
We get like 300 inches.
Yeah, no, we don't get that.
Okay, well, listen, I don't want a long video. I want to thank you so very much for your kindness and your courtesy. And everybody, this is Chris with Vertical Without Bedsores. Until we meet again.